Okay, so last video, I sort of introduced you to the derivative as slope of tangent line, but let's give you something a little more formal, something to work with, okay? So you remember this difference quotient? Okay, the difference quotient. Okay, that's f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Okay, and that's, if you may remember or may not, that represented that we're taking, if we're taking some function, let's say, some function, y equals f of x. That's a bad f of x. Okay, and we're going to take, let's say we have a point here. We'll call this one x, and this one x plus h. And we're going to take the points here. We're taking the slope of the line that connects them. Okay, that's what that difference quotient was. Okay. The derivative is just, we're going to actually take a limit of that. So the derivative, why is that in red? Let's make that all. Hold on, that's black. Let me make this blue. Let me make that orange. Okay. Okay, but the derivative is actually what happens when we take the limit of that as the 2 points get closer and closer together. So the derivative okay, that's f prime of x equals, now we're going to take the limit as h goes to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Okay, remember those limits from way back at the beginning of the semester? Yeah, they're back now. Okay, so let's take a couple. Okay, let's do number 18. We're going to find the derivative of f of x equals 3x squared minus 2. Okay, so let me just draw this so that we can sort of put it on there and we'll see what's going on. Wow. You guys believe I drew this one without the shape tool? That's pretty good. Okay, so 3x squared minus 2. Looks like so and so. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're going to find now this derivative, which is the limit as h goes to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Okay? Now, let's take that. That equals the limit h goes to 0. Now, what is f of x plus h f of x? F of x is 3x squared minus 2. We're good there. Now let me write out f of x plus h. F of x plus h is 3x plus h squared minus 2. So all we're doing is where we see this x, we're going to replace it by x plus h. Okay? So we're going to get 3x plus h squared minus 2. That's f of x plus h minus 3x squared minus 2 divided by h. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, we're going to expand this term. Okay, we're going to FOIL that out. So we're going to get the limit, h goes to 0, 3x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 2 minus 3x squared minus 2 divided by h. Okay. All right. Next. Now, one of the things that, before I go to the next step, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. One of the secrets about doing math, especially when you've been doing it for a long time, is you kind of are supposed to get an idea of what the answer is supposed to be. Okay, so usually when you're doing a problem, you should have an idea, ideally, of what the answer is. Now, you don't always, because you're learning, right? Whenever we're learning, we don't. But after you've done problems a few times, you get a sense of what you're supposed to get. So now I'm going to give you sort of a sense. This is a sense of one thing that I know, is that your original function should go away. All right, there are some like sort of things where it doesn't exactly happen, but generally your original function goes away in these. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. This 3x squared, and I have this 3x squared, and there's a minus between them. So they're going to cancel. This negative 2, well, it has a positive 2 there. So positive 2 and negative 2. So that's going to cancel. So on my next round, it's going to be limit h goes to 0. I recognize that 3x squared as part of my original function, so I'm going to sort of not write it down. But I do have this 3 acting on this 2xh. So I have 6xh plus 3h squared over h. Okay, so again, this 3x squared and that 2, those cancel because there were pieces there. All right, I'm starting to get somewhere. Let me move this just a little bit here. Now, one thing that I know calculus students love to do, cancel this h here, we're done. No, not quite. You got to factor out that h first. Okay. So factor out that h. 6x plus 3h divided by h. You get 6x. Oh, sorry. Write it down here. Limit h goes to 0, 6x plus 3h, which equals 6x. Okay, now what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, what that means is, for example, if we look at here, let's say we have the point here. Let's say that point here is 1 comma, what would be the f of x? 3 minus 2, well, definitely not. Up here. My bad. So let's say we have the point here, 1 comma negative 1. Okay, let me erase that up. There we go. We have the point there, 1 comma negative 1, and I draw the tangent line. Then based on what I've got here, the slope here should be 6, because it's 6 times whatever that x is. Okay, let's say I'm over here, let's say -2. So say I'm way up here, -2. -2, comma, 3 times 4 is 12, 10. Okay, then the slope here is going to be m equals, or f prime of x equals -12. Let me write f prime here too. Okay, so all it is it's telling us what is the slope of this line that just touches the graph there. Okay? All right, I will see you all in the next video.